that's how it goes with the alternating bass. So this song is a song in the style of a lot of the famous country blues people. Mississippi John Hurt sounded a lot like this, as did Elizabeth Cotton. But you would find all over the Southeast bluesmen and blueswomen playing in this alternating bass style. Many of them used other styles, and maybe even used other styles most of the time, but this one was something that almost everybody used at least some of the time. So let's figure out how to break this down. So the basic idea of the bass is we're going back and forth between two strings. So we're in this key C chord right here. Basic C chord with our third finger of our ring finger on the 5th string 3rd fret, our second finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, and our first finger on the 2nd string 1st fret, and then I'm using my pinky or my 4th finger to add some melody notes on the 1st string mostly. And so we'll work out that little piece as we get on with it, but to start out with, we're going to look at the bass part. So it's alternating, that's where the name comes from, alternating between, in the C chord here, the 6th string and the 5th string. So that's the first thing we'll just work on a little bit, going back and forth. 5th string, 4th string, 5th string, 4th string, 5th, 4th, back and forth. Okay. Now, one of the things that's a little tricky about playing with finger picks is getting a clean, so you don't get a lot of extra kind of metallic clanginess happening when you hit those strings, and that's gonna take a little bit of work to get that cleaned up with you. Another thing you can do, of course, is try using a plastic flat pick, or no flat pick at all, or thumb pick, I mean, at all. Different people use that, but I really prefer to use the picks. Okay, so the next thing you can do also is to alternate the root of your bass. So here we're doing it on the 5th string going to the 4th, and then we go to the 6th string. So we're moving our ring finger over to fret the 3rd fret of the 6th string and getting the bass note on a G. So it's C, G, C, back and forth like that. So that's another thing that you can do to get that for the C chord. Okay, so now let's add in the rest of it and get our song going here. So we start out with just a bass note on the 5th string, and then we do something called a pinch. So I'm playing my 4th string with my thumb, and at the same time I'm kind of pinching together. I'm using my 2nd finger on the 1st string, and then you'll see that I'm also fretting that 1st string at the 3rd fret to get that high melody note, and then I'm doing the pull off, right? And then I'm going to the 2nd string and doing the same thing. I'm pulling off to the open, and then I'm pulling off on the 2nd string, which I'm doing playing with my 1st finger of my picking hand, and then I'm doing a pull off there too, but now it's pulling off down to the 1st fret where I already have my 1st finger as part of that C chord. So it's again. So we'll just go that part a few times. So you can see that the second part of that phrase is syncopated. So here I pinch, so I'm playing 2 notes at the same time, one with my thumb and one with my 2nd finger. But the second time they're kind of going opposite each other. So the bass. So my bass note on the 4th string comes as I'm doing my pull off. So put it together. Okay, that's the C chord part. Now we're going to go to the F part. So we're doing a one end kind of a thing here, a pinch with my bass on my 6th string, and then I'm using my first finger on the 3rd string. And so the chord that I'm playing here is the standard way that bluesmen played F. They didn't play bar chords, very rarely played bar chords. So we have the partial F with our, and actually in this case the bar of the first finger is going across 3 strings, not just the 1st and 2nd string, because we're going to be doing a hammer on there, and so we need to have that that 3rd string covered at the 1st fret with our partial bar. And then we have our 2nd finger on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and then we're just playing one bass note with our normal fretting fingers, and we're using our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and then we got our thumb coming around to play the 1st fret of the 6th string, and that's our other bass. So our bass is going to be alternating back and forth now between the 6th string and the 5th string, or the 4th string, sorry, 6th string and 4th string. And our melody is going to be a hammer-on. So I pick up my 2nd finger that was on the 3rd string, and so I'm sounding that 3rd string on the 1st fret, and then I hammer on, right? So just do that apart a few times, and then we can put the rest of it together. So I'm doing that pinch, thumb on the 6th string, 1st finger on the 3rd string, hammering on, and then I'm hitting my 2nd bass, and then I'm kind of syncopating. So I'm getting that melody note on the 2nd string, and then I'm adding in that that pinky finger again on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. This is the 2nd phrase, our F phrase. So our thumb is just alternating between the 6th string and the 4th string. And we got 1st finger doing that hammer on pluck, 2nd finger, and then 1st finger on the 3rd string again. So if I just take out the bass for a second, we got that's how the melody is going. So it's 1st finger with the hammer on, 2nd finger is the next note, and then so we're playing the 1st finger with on the 3rd string, and it's fretted at the 2nd fret, and then we follow it quickly with our 2nd finger playing the 2nd string, and there we have our pinky down on the 3rd fret to get that higher note. So put it all together again. So let's put the 2 phrases together. Again. Then now we go back to the C chord again for a new phrase. So we have a pinch again, we're fretting just the standard C chord, and we have our thumb on the 5th string again, and our 2nd finger on the 1st string, and then we play the 4th string bass note, and then we go back to that same note on the 1st string. Okay, so that's the first part of the phrase. We'll repeat it a few times. Pinch, and then alternating those 2. Pinch, bass first string, and then we have another pull off again. So we got our pinky going to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and then pulling off down to the 1st fret where our 1st finger is at. You do that a few times. And then now we go to a G. And I'm starting out, I'm actually just fretting the 5th and the 6th string. So 5th string with my 2nd finger on the 2nd fret and 6th string with my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. And now I'm gonna, so we have a pinch. So our G is going between the, like our F chord did, we're going between the 6th string and the 4th string. That's our alternating bass. And so we have a pinch, and then followed by our 1st finger. So the pinch is between the thumb and the 2nd finger. And then we go, bring in our 1st finger on the, and so the pinch is with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string, and then the 1st finger comes onto the 3rd string. And then our 2nd finger goes over to the 1st string, and now we bring down our pinky to get that G note over there at on the high note on the melody. So alternating 6 and 4, 6, 4. Okay, so now let's put those 4 phrases together. So we got a C phrase, an F phrase, then a C phrase, and a G phrase. So F phrase, and repeat it. C phrase, our first C phrase. F phrase, C again, G, and one more time. C, okay, and then we come back basically to the beginning again, except this time. So that was the same as our very first phrase, C phrase again. And then our F phrase. That was pretty much the same. Now something a little simpler for our next C phrase. And then our G. So that was just a pinch and another bass on the 4th string. So our pinch is 1st string with our 2nd finger and 5th string with our thumb, and then another bass note with our thumb on the 4th string this time. And then we do a G7 chord I'm using here. So this is maybe a new chord to you, but we start out with our 2nd finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret. 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and then we have our ring finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret, and then our pinky on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And so we can play any one of the strings except really the first one, probably not so much. So we're playing strings 2 through 6 for this particular chord. Okay, so the pinch is happening to start this phrase, and so that's a pinch between the 2nd finger and thumb. 2nd finger is on the 2nd string, followed by 1st finger on the 3rd string. and then our second bass note is on the 4th string. So like our first G chord, we're alternating back and forth between the 6th string and the 4th string. And then we go back to our C to end it up. So that last note was, the last high note was on the 2nd string with our standard C chord here, and then followed by a bass on the 5th string, which is what we normally do with the C. Okay? And now I'm going to do that alternating the low note and go down to the G note on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So remember, we practiced that a little bit at the beginning. So again, starting with our G7 chord, G7, again, and then one last time. So from the beginning, the whole thing. Again. C, F, C, G7, and C. One last time. C, G, so there's a little variation that we could do. Okay, so we're playing a G chord here instead of the G7 that I've been doing. So once again, I'm just fretting actually the 5th string and the 6th string, and I'm doing a pinch to begin with between my thumb on the 6th string and my 2nd finger on the 2nd string, and following that by the 1st finger plucking the 3rd string. And then rather than, I've been mostly alternating 4th string, 6th string, and 4th string with my G, but this time I'm doing a little variation, and I'm playing my 2nd bass note on the 5th string. See how we get kind of a walking bass when I go back to my C to end the song, because there's that B note, and then I switch to the C chord, so we end up with kind of that's what the bass part sounds like, right? So let's start out with the second half of the song with our C, go into our F, and then our G, C to end it. So your variation, that part again. C, G variation, and then I can end the song by playing a C7. So I play my normal beginning bass of a C chord on the 5th string, but then I go down to the 6th string with it, and I move my ring finger over to fret that like we've done before. And then I play the C7 chord by putting my pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And there we go.